Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Today we'll be talking about the Titans versus Colts. Clayton, what are your thoughts?
Man, I don't know how many games they got to lose because of it, but the Colts got to come to a realization that Phillip Rivers don't need to be throwing it 52 times a game. Okay, you can't listen. So here's basically my thoughts on the exact Colts as a whole right now, and what's going to be their downfall. If I am Jim Irsay and I'm making money by selling people shirts and hats and just merchandise in general that say run the damn ball, and my team doesn't actually do it, and I'm a fan and I bought that merchandise, I'm furious and I want my money back, right? I bought it in support of the cause that we're going to run the damn ball, and they're not. They're not at all. 52 times? Are you kidding me? Now, granted, I get it. The game script kind of gets away from you. But if you hang your hat on being a power running team, the same way the Tennessee Titans hang their hat on it, you look at Derrick Henry's numbers: 27 rushes, 178 yards, 6.5 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. Okay. Granted, I get it's Derrick Henry, but you guys drafted your own Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. He's out for the game. That's okay. You wanted to let Marlon Mack go because you thought you had a great running back room, right? Let's look at these numbers: 10 carries, 29 yards for Nyheim Hines. Jordan Wilkins, 6 carries, 22 yards. DeMichael Harris, 1 carry, 2 yards. You're not even – that's 17 rushes right there from your star-studded running back room. I don't understand how you could claim to be a running team. You didn't draft offensive weapons other than Pittman and Taylor, to be a passing team. I think Pittman's a stud. I think Pittman's going to be an absolute star in this league eventually, but they don't have the supporting cast around. T.Y. Hilton is not the same. I mean, right now it's the Michael Pittman show on the receiving core. Zach Pascal, we've seen not do anything to separate himself as an elite threat. T.Y. Hilton is over the hill as a threat. Trey Burton has shown to be injury-prone, kind of special, really athletic, right? Jack Doyle, really injury-prone, banged up. Mo Alley Cox has actually been the most consistent weapon from the tight end position. This is a team that claims that they're one thing, but now they're doing it, they're kind of your friend that says they're your friend to your face, but as soon as you leave the room, they're talking bad trash to you, right? And that's what I just don't understand the direction that the Colts are getting, right? And you look at the Titans, a true power run team, they returned to form. They've had injuries, they've had everything you could think of. The COVID scare beginning the year, everybody was kind of mad at them for that. Nothing can kind of derail these guys, and they're suited for playoff football. I don't know what else there is to say about that. What are your thoughts on the Colts and Titans franchises right now, winding down to crunch playoff time?
Well, I was laughing so hard at the Friends thing because I just mentally thought that I'm going to go get some pizza. And as soon as the guy leaves the living room, the guy's like, take a load of that guy, But anyways, I think that the Colts, this was their shot to show that they can, run the table in their division. I mean, if they would have won this game, would it be a lock by any means? No, but it would have been a lot easier for them to win their division. Now, the rest of the season, you're going to be, an uphill climb, and the way the Titans play football, it travels. It travels in the playoffs, running the football. And I think their defense is spectacular? No, but Mike Vrabel's a defensive guy. And I feel like, look at last year. Last year, their defense started to peak at the right time. Derrick Henry was peaking at the right time. Well, those things are starting to, come back now. Do I think that that this win was, quote unquote, a statement win for the Titans? Yes and no. In their division, sure, but in the grand scheme of the NFL, wins are hard to come by. The whole any given Sunday approach. I agree with it, but the problem with the Colts is, you said it. You have a very good offensive line, especially Quentin Nelson. I love Quentin Nelson, but do you really think Quentin Nelson wants to pass it 52 times a game? No, he would much rather have it be, have to pass that 25 to 30 times a game, but I'm run blocking, just as much, if not more. And also, I agree with your point. If you weren't going to bring it up, I was going to. You draft Jonathan Taylor, who is a very prolific college running back, and in his own right, and he's the perfect power running back in that power running scheme. And Yeah, T.Y. Hilton's old, but there have been times where Philip Rivers had T.Y. Hilton open and he hasn't been able to connect with him. And is it possibly because T.Y. Hilton's lost a step? Maybe. But as a quarterback, if there's a guy that's wide open, you got to hit him. Especially if how long has Philip Rivers been in the NFL? Since what, 2004? Was it or 2003, something like that? Like, I mean, he's been in the league for a while. Like, so with that being said, it's just kind of like, did you do you go to Jacoby Brissett? Uh, I don't know, because at least kind of like we talk about with the Bears, at least Jacoby Brissett's more mobile than Philip Rivers. So if they want to pass the ball and nothing's there, at least you can rely on Jacoby Brissett to take off with it. But um, I think there's still a lot of football left to be played. I don't think they win the division. I think if they get in the playoffs, it's definitely going to be a wild card. I wholeheartedly think that the Titans are going to win this division because they're peaking at the right time. And, outside of their offensive line, they're relatively healthy. But, we'll see.
Yeah, just to add on to what we were saying about that, making them run the football. I know a lot of people are going to hop on and chirp and say, well, they ran the football, 22 times to Jonathan Taylor whenever they beat the Packers. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Go back 2 weeks ago whenever they beat the Titans 34-17. Philip Rivers again throws it 40 times, 300 yards. Nyheim Hines is your leading rusher, and he carries it 12 times. Jonathan Taylor, your highly esteemed back, touched it 7 times. Okay, Jordan Wilkins 8 times. So a little bit, but I just don't understand what the thought process is here. If Jonathan Taylor is that good, that successful, why isn't he getting the worker's load? Why is he not getting the bell cow touches? I don't get that. Is Nyheim Hines explosive? Yeah, he had almost 6 yards to carry that game, 70 yards and a touchdown. Nyheim Hines is a very good football player, but you didn't spend a high draft capital on Jonathan Taylor to spell Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines is there to relieve Jonathan Taylor when he needs a sip of Gatorade on the sideline. And that's the part that's I'm baffled at. I think this Colts team just really rides the emotional roller coaster that we all see. I think they're up and down. I think that they could fall into I think they could definitely fall into trap games that their opponent sets. So if the opponent puts them in a shootout position or dares Phil to throw, I think Phil's going to fall into that, and Frank Reich's falling into that and throwing it. They're airing it out. I don't think they truly want to run the football the way that they claim they do, and I think that's been evident all season.
It's not passing the eyeball test whatsoever. So I mean, obviously, I've said it before on here. I'm a Vikings fan, but that this Titans defense isn't, like I said, it's not spectacular. It's okay, but I mean, I think that they are very liable in the running game because, I mean, granted, is Jonathan Taylor Dalvin Cook? No, but I think you can make up for it with the Colts having a better offensive line than the Vikings. And I'm looking at the numbers here. When the Vikings played the Titans, Dalvin Cook had 181 yards rushing. Now, do I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have 181 yards rushing? No. But I think he at least has a 100-yard game. And in addition to that, the Vikings were able to hold Derrick Henry to only 119 yards rushing. And keep in mind, the Vikings defense is horrible. I mean, I think they, in total defense, they're 30th, or, I mean, they're bottom half of the league too, and they were able to at least slow down Derrick Henry. And then if you look at the Vikings versus Colts game, when they did run the ball with Jonathan Taylor had 26 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown. Wilkins 9 carries for 40 yards. We talked about Mo Alley Cox. He had 5 catches for 111. Michael Pittman 4 for 37. T.Y. Hilton 3 for 28. Zach Pascal 3 for 19. What am I getting at here? Well, what I'm getting at here is the fact that they were playing more balanced early on in the season. This is week 3 in the NFL, and they were more balanced than they are now. Additionally, they were able to hold up Dalvin Cook 14 carries for 63 yards. And again, comparing Derrick Henry to Dalvin Cook, it's like comparing apples to oranges. I mean, do they both play in the outside zone scheme? Yeah, sure. They run the same scheme, but I mean, Derrick Henry's like 6'5", like 240. And Dalvin Cook's like, I don't know, like maybe 5'11", 220 something. So I just think that that the Colts kind of similar to the Buccaneers. I think that they've regressed almost like since the beginning of the season. That's not going to help you out, come playoff time, because neither one of those teams, we'll talk about this here. The Bucs or the Colts are playoff teams that will travel, because they both claim they want to run the football, especially the Colts, but they don't. And do I think that their defense is basically going to have to carry them, led by Darius Leonard? But it's not looking good in Indy right now. But Tennessee's on a hot streak.
I think the Colts ultimately are knockoff Tennessee, and that may be a bold statement. I know I know a lot of Colts fans. They're probably going to be upset with me with that statement, but Tennessee could do whatever you want them to do. If they put deep, they've got speed on the outside receivers. They've got Corey Davis, AJ Brown, Jonnu Smith over the middle, running up the seam. They could take you there. You want to slow the game down, or they want to take it away from you? They've got power running with Derrick Henry. Okay, they've got an athletic quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, former college wide receiver. People forget that he's fast, he's athletic, he's big. He can run the bootleg. He can get outside of the pocket. He can create some things. Got a big arm. They can play any kind of football they really want to. If we're being honest, the Colts can't. Okay, Phillip Rivers is not getting outside the pocket and threatening you with his legs. They don't have the weapons on the outside to hang 30 points consistently on you. And so that's why I feel like they're fake Tennessee. I feel like they claim that they're Tennessee, but, they're the Tennessee's little brother right now in terms of identity. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yep. All right. Well, if you guys think we're wrong, let us know in the comment section. We will reply on video. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out our other content from the East West Football Network. Thank you.